First thing is that for a teacher, I would like to speak something on behalf of teacher, and then I would be coming to children. So for teachers, whenever they are landing into this field, first they should go through the objectives, So what are the objectives they are going to fulfill in these 2 years? So first I read the vision document, that what exactly the document is saying. What do I need to talk at higher secondary level? So when I know that in higher secondary level, today especially, these young learners, they are supposed to think like a real historian, So the document is saying that they should be trained in such a way so that at the end of the senior secondary, they should think like a historian. They should take up history as a career, or whenever they are seeing, they should see an event or process through evidence, proper evidence. So basically, being a teacher, I read all those objectives. Then I plan my own curricular, strategies, that how am I going to speak, because it depends that where are you going to interact, whether you are going to interact in Delhi, or maybe my strategy would be different if I fly to different parts of India, because their challenges are different, So here, when children are exposed to various factors, and they are seeing a greater level of change every day, so it's easier for me to bring ICT tools. It's easier for me to quote any research, modern research, or any research paper I can give them, and I can tell this is how you need to write your review of related literature, or whenever you are investigating, you should read like a historian. You should search evidence. But then, yes, Tapashri, I just don't see history in textbook and books. I just don't find that. So what I do basically with my children, I just train them to see history around their life. I tell them to search family history. I just tell them to find answers, that why they have certain objects at their homes. Okay, what is the reason? Who brought that object? Okay, why do they think that? Why do they think that we are like this? Why India is a developing country? Why not it is a developed country? Why US is a developed country? So basically, I talk much. I talk history. I talk history, and I feel that history habits are very important. When you are teaching about history, it may not be, of course, it may not be fixed to that desire of getting good marks in examination, but of course, I give much emphasis to learning part, that whether the child is appreciating history. And when I talk to my children, I always bring my childhood, that when I didn't get a good teacher, and I would feel that why I am cramming all such facts. So I discourage them at higher secondary level. I discourage them not to cram, rather to think, rather to investigate with proper evidences. And when it comes to evidence analysis, I just don't take them to an archive at first go. First, I would take any evidence, like maybe my own passport in the classroom, or any document, original document, which they feel it is an original document. And I just take a talk. I just engage them into the talk, that why do you think that it's an original document? What is its importance? How the historians see this document. So this is how just I try to relate them with history. And I see that how we all are part of history. We are the products of history, and history has created this identity what we are today. Most importantly, 3 things I would like to say, which I always tell to my fellow colleagues and children, that history is a subject, which gives you hope. Always. Because if you see Tapashri, if you read the history textbooks, and we have a rich history in India, especially Indian history, and we start with prehistory. So if you go to Madhya Pradesh, if you see that Bhimbetka caves, then you will see that how the prehistoric life was. So from that prehistoric lifestyle today, when we are planning for space tourism, don't you think
the whole trajectory,
evolution and and it gives you a hope,
Yes.
So I keep saying, so if you could come to this point, then please, whatever problems you are having in your life, don't think that it will be permanent. You should move on. So I feel that history has therapeutic value, and it really influences your personality also. So I say history is hope. Then yes, if you are thinking that you are struggling something, or you are saying that I have so many challenges, I have so many problems in life, then take history as a solution also. You don't need to go to a counselor, you just see that empires, they came, they also after a point, they performed well. You just started saying that the particular empire, contributed this much to India. Then it had a great contribution to administration, economy, and so on and so forth. But then I say, you see, whenever they found any problem, like I would like to quote Vijayanagar Empire. If you go to south and if you see present day Hampi, then the Vijayanagar Empire, of course, it was connected to a drier part, if you see the geography. But then the way they solved the problem, water crisis, So I just see that the way your past saw solution, now also whenever you see any kind of problem, you can search solution. So history is giving you hope. History is talking about solution, and most important thing is that when we are living in a period of, we have positives, but simultaneously so many negatives are there, and we keep talking about that. Sometimes we criticize also why such things are existing. So in that way, how are you going to place yourself in this transitional period or in this globalized world? So that is very important. So especially I tell my children, living in a secular country, and when you are having a rich history, it should give you the skill of assimilation. So whenever you are going, you should be so flexible. If you know your history, that the way your past assimilated everything, you should assimilate it in a culture. So in that way, when people interaction would be there, Tapashri, I feel so many problems would be solved, and that is the main objective of history, I think. For me, getting marks in examination is secondary, but yes, how you are applying those skills in your own life and how you are bringing a positive outcome, that is more important. So if again I am coming to my teaching strategies, whenever I teach, whenever I plan something related to a lesson, no doubt, of course I am handling the lesson as per the curriculum. But of course, my aim is to make them a proper human being, so that they would be having history habits. And at the end of the day, when I keep hearing from my students, then they have stopped forwarding messages without checking the original source. Really, it brings a great joy to me. So I feel being a teacher, that is my reward at the end of the day.